You're being stabbed through the stomach. Right now. This exact moment. And it's not an accident. It's not a mistake. It's how you eat breakfast. You are a bedbug. You don't have a mouth that opens. You have a needle permanently attached to your face, and the only way anything gets into your body is if you drive that needle through skin and pull blood directly from a vein. Your entire feeding system is built around traumatic penetration. That's not a metaphor. That's the technical term scientists use. Every meal requires you to pierce through layers of tissue until you hit something that bleeds. Then you drink for 10 minutes straight while your body swells to 3 times its normal size. You're hatched in a crack between a mattress and a bed frame. The egg you came from is smaller than a grain of rice. You're smaller than the egg was. Translucent, soft. You can see your own organs through your skin if you had any way to look. You don't. You have no eyes that work yet. Just light sensors that tell you when it's dark enough to move. Your first meal has to happen within 72 hours, or your body starts shutting down. Not slowly, you don't get a grace period. Hour 73, you begin to die. The clock started the moment you cracked out of that egg, and nobody is coming to help you figure this out. You follow carbon dioxide. That's it. That's your entire navigation system. Mammals exhale it and you move toward the highest concentration you can detect. Sometimes that's a sleeping human 6 feet away. Sometimes it's a shoe someone left near the bed. You can't tell the difference until you're already there. You climb the bed frame. Your legs have hooks on them, tiny curved claws that grip fabric. You're slow. A single bed leg takes you 4 minutes to climb, and if you fall, you start over from the floor. You reach skin. It's warm. It's moving slightly with each breath. This is it. You extend the stylet, the feeding needle that's been folded against your head since you hatched. You press it against the surface and push. It doesn't go in. You push harder. The tip bends slightly against the resistance and then suddenly breaks through. You're in the epidermis now, navigating between cells, probing deeper. You need a blood vessel. You need to hit it directly or this doesn't work. First attempt, you miss. You pull out and try again 2 millimeters to the left. Miss. Again. Again. On the 5th attempt, you hit a capillary and blood flows up through the stylet into your gut. The feeding takes 9 minutes. Your abdomen distends until you look like a different animal entirely. A tiny translucent balloon with legs. You pull out and the wound you leave behind itches. Not for you. For the human. They're going to scratch that spot for 3 days. You make it back to the crack in the mattress. You're full, you're safe, and now you have to do something that makes absolutely no sense until you understand what you actually are. You have to molt. Your skin doesn't grow. It can't. So your body built a new one underneath while you were feeding, and now the old one has to come off. You brace yourself against the wood and split your own back open. The new body pulls itself out of the old shell over the next 20 minutes. When it's done, you're slightly larger, still soft, and you're going to have to do this 4 more times before you're an adult. Each time, you'll need another blood meal first. Each time, the meal has to be bigger than the last. You're not even past your first day and you've already learned the only rule that matters. Find blood or stop existing. That was the easy part. You're 2 weeks old now and you've figured out the pattern. Feed, hide, molt, repeat. The human whose bed you're living in has no idea you exist. You're too small to see unless someone is specifically looking, and nobody is. You've gotten better at finding the capillaries. 3 attempts instead of 5. Your body is darker now, rust-colored when you're empty. Deep mahogany when you're full. You're not alone anymore either. There are others in this mattress. Dozens, maybe hundreds. You don't interact. You don't communicate. You just share the same space, following the same carbon dioxide gradients to the same warm body every night. One of them doesn't make it back. You find the body wedged in a crack near the box spring. Desiccated, legs curled inward. It got lost on the return trip. Took a wrong turn somewhere in the sheets and couldn't find its way back before the sun came up. Daylight is death. Your body can't handle the exposure, the heat, the dryness. Everything about you is built for darkness and enclosed spaces. That body could be you tomorrow. One navigation error and the whole thing stops. You're approaching your final molt. You can feel it. Your body is preparing for something different this time. something that doesn't involve getting bigger. The next version of you will have functional wings. Not for flying, they're too small for that, but for one specific purpose. The wings exist so you can find others like you. So you can reproduce, that's it. The only reason you'll have wings is so the next generation can start this whole process over again. But first you need one more meal. You climb at the usual time. The human is asleep, breathing steadily. You've fed on this same person 11 times now. They still don't know. You reach the feeding site, extend the stylet, and push through. Something is different. The blood tastes wrong. There's a chemical in it you've never encountered before. You keep feeding anyway because stopping isn't an option. You need this meal. You finish and make it back to the crack. The chemical is still there, circulating through your system now. The human bought a mattress cover 2 days ago, the kind that's supposed to trap you inside. They also started taking medication, a preventative, something that makes their blood toxic to anything that feeds on it. You don't feel it immediately. It takes 6 hours before your legs stop working properly, 12 hours before you can't move at all. By hour 18, you're gone. Just another body in the crack, curled inward, stopped mid-step. The others keep feeding. Some hit the same chemical, some don't. The ones that make it through will reproduce. Their offspring will hatch in the same mattress, follow the same carbon dioxide trails, probe the same skin searching for the same capillaries. The cycle doesn't stop because you stopped. It never has. Bedbugs have been doing this for 11,000 years. They fed on humans in caves. They crossed oceans in wooden ships. They survived every pesticide we've developed by simply outlasting it. A percentage always makes it through. You just weren't in that percentage, but your siblings are, and their offspring will be smaller, harder to detect, and just as hungry as you were. They'll crack out of their eggs 72 hours from now and the clock will start again. You were built to survive in the narrowest margins. Too small to fight. Too fragile to last in open air. No venom, no speed, no way to defend yourself against anything larger than a fingernail. Your entire existence played out in the dark spaces between things, navigating by chemical signals you couldn't see toward blood you needed to pierce through skin to reach. 5 molts, 11 meals. 2 weeks of life that ended because someone changed the chemistry in their bloodstream, and you had no way to detect it until you'd already fed. The species continues because it only needs a fraction to make it through. You weren't in that fraction. Somewhere in that same mattress right now, an egg is about to hatch. The nymph inside has 72 hours to find its first meal. It has no idea what's waiting. It doesn't need to. It just needs to follow the carbon dioxide and start climbing. The clock is already running.